Hi everyone, it's Shar. Welcome back to my channel. I feel like it's been so long since we've sat down and done a speed build because I've definitely been focusing super intently on our generation's challenges. So that's Not So Berry and that's Whimsy Stories, because I want to aim to have Not So Berry done by the end of this year and for us to almost be done with Whimsy Stories. So those are two challenges that I'm really enjoying. And today I was just in a mood to do a super simple speed build. I wanted it to have a starter home. How people are able to build these homes in less than an hour, by the way, is so impressive because all of my builds tend to take me like an hour to 2 hours. And I played around with a few different ideas for what I wanted to do with this house. I had a lot of inspiration pictures that I had pulled off of Pinterest in the past several weeks. Fun fact, I've actually recorded several speed builds before the one that you were seeing. I didn't like any of them, so I just scrapped them. But I said, let's just do something really casual and simple here. And my apologies, I am sick. I have the day off, so that's a positive, but I am sick. So my throat is very dry, and that's going to affect how I sound on this video. But mostly I wanted to take this time just to sit down, have general life updates, and then update you on differences in the family tree. So you may be here because you watched my differences in the family tree legacy challenge. So let's start there. Now, I absolutely love our starter sim, and that's our Gen 1. And I really love like the partner that I picked out for her. I think they're such a cute couple, but unfortunately it only took me a few episodes into this challenge to realize I wasn't enjoying it. I found that it was kind of boring, which is no offense to the creator. It does not mean that it's a boring challenge. It was just boring to me because that's not my style of gameplay. It was a lot of family gameplay. And while I love family gameplay, obviously I wouldn't be playing generation style legacy challenges if I didn't like family gameplay. I wanted more drama and I didn't want to farm. Like, that's one of the first things you do when you start playing The Sims, right? Like, you start farming and fishing and painting. And I was like, I've done that so many times that I don't want to do that. I want to have more drama. And this mistake that I made when I started that legacy challenge was not looking into all of the legacies. So that's actually a 15 generation legacy challenge, which is way too long for me. Again, that's no offense to the creator. That is just my play style and short attention span. Like, I can't play for 15 generations. I didn't find all of the generations something that I was excited about. So I decided to scrap that legacy challenge. If you loved it, I'm sorry, but the silver lining there is that we are going to use the child sim of those two sims. I think that's Sophie and I'm forgetting her partner's name, but we're going to have them have a baby, and that child will be Gen 1 of the next legacy challenge that I'm going to start. Now, I considered a few things, but I learned my lesson this time around, and that is to actually read through all of the generations. I didn't initially because I didn't want to spoil it for myself, but then I realized, no, I actually have to read through it because otherwise I'm going to get to certain generations like, I'm not intrigued by that. I don't want to play that. So here is what we are going to do. I was considering, should we play like Crybaby Whims? But then the same thing, I read Generation 2 and I was like, I don't care. Gen 1 has a really great like storyline that is intriguing, and I've been playing it on my own. But Gen 2, I was like, I'm not that fascinated by it. Maybe that's just like my mood. So I wanted to find something that's more in tune with my gameplay. I feel like I have to keep saying that is no offense to the creator. Just because it's not intriguing to me does not mean that it's a bad challenge. It just means it's not my style of gameplay. Anyway, so one that I saw on Discord was Genba Sims, the Sims 4 Experiences Challenge. And they start us off by saying, are you sick of doing the same old thing every time you play The Sims? Yes, yes I am, which is why I love challenges and legacy challenges. So I'm thinking that we might play this one, and the reason that is that Generation 1 is yellow, and yellow Gen couldn't wait to move out and get away from their podunk little hometown as soon as possible. That fits in really well, especially if we're going to go with Sophie's child from our differences in the family tree legacy challenge, because she would have grown up in Henford on Bagley, and maybe that's what she pictures with that, and she really wants to move away. This sim wants stardom and is a criminal, so I think that's a really interesting way to start. This is slightly longer than 10 generations, but what I'm going to do is that I'll probably cut any generations that I think aren't super aligned with my style of gameplay, and then we will just keep it down to 10 gens. So that's one option. I'm not super tied down to that option, by the way. If there is another legacy challenge that I definitely haven't heard of, there are definitely ones that I haven't heard of, and you think it would be a fun way to play, maybe you don't see a lot of other creators playing it and you want to see me give it a go, you can let me know in the comments below and I will definitely take a look. But for now, I'm leaning towards that Genba Sims challenge, because I think that will be really fun for us to play. So you might see a creative sim coming up. And the reason why I like to have multiple legacy challenges going on my channel at once is because genuinely it's just something that I find enjoyable. But two, it's just something that like adds variety to my gameplay and keeps systems really fun for me. Plus, it's not always, I mean, it's always fun, but sometimes you get sick of playing with the family, you know, and you think, oh, I've been playing this challenge for a while and I want to switch it up. And only recording Not So Very and Whimsy Story means that I'm always playing with the same Sims. So I would love to add in a new family that has a completely different storyline, different aesthetic. So I think that would be really fun for us to do. So that's why I like to have 3 generations or 3 legacy challenges going on my channel at once, again, with the aim of having Not So Very be done by the end of the year. So that is the update for you all on differences in the family tree, why I ended that series, and what series is going to take its place on my channel. Second life update is that we passed 300 subscribers. So I just want to say thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I appreciate you being here, and it's just really fun to play together. I always have a lot more fun playing The Sims when I'm recording it and posting it to my channel, because I view it as a way for all of us to play together and for you to fall in love with my Sims just like I fall in love with them via their storylines. Okay, and then life updates is after a 2-month reading slump, I finally broke that reading slump and I am back into reading. I'm reading quite a few books, but unfortunately I've also DNF'd a few, and I say unfortunately because I've been getting to like 50 or 60% of the book and then DNFing it. I'm like, what the heck is this? The good thing about that is that it means I'm getting a lot more familiar with my adult reading taste. I've always been a reader, but right around the end of high school all the way through the end of grad school and then a year after that, I didn't read. I was just like burnt out from reading. By the way, my eyesight took a hit from all of the amount that I read through college, which apparently is a thing. But anyway, back on track. So I finally got back into reading after my reading slump for this month, and I've been reading a few books, but I've been DNFing them. So that's just telling me more about my reading taste. Book that I'm currently reading right now is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, which I was honestly really kind of wary of going into because I didn't really like Beach Read. Now let me clarify that I don't think that was Beach Read's fault. I think Beach Read was promoted on social media as a romance novel. It is not a romance novel. It is contemporary fiction with romantic elements, but it is definitely dark and heavy, and if you're going in expecting like light rom-com vibes, that is not what you're going to get. So that's why I didn't like Beach Read. It just wasn't what I was expecting. But People We Meet on Vacation is a romance, and it is very, very good, and I'm enjoying it. The book I DNF'd was Ignite by Melanie Harlow. I just didn't like the male character. FYI, whenever I read, sometimes I dock stars. I only ever rate my books on enjoyment. I can't imagine objectively trying to rate if a book is good or bad. It's just how much I enjoyed it. I DNF'd it because I didn't like the male character and he was too much like a man, which is not what I'm looking for in my romance novels. I want a man who reads like he's a fictional man. And then I'm trying to finish up European Travel for the Monstrous Gentlewomen. This is a sequel to The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. Now I'm really enjoying it. Let me just pause. These posters are my own custom content. You can probably tell because they're not very good. But I made them for this save file. We are in the Sharp save file because there are celebrities in the world, and I want my Sims and my Team Sims to be able to have a fan base. So these posters are actually of real Sims, real musicians that your Sims can run into when you are playing your game. So I just thought that was a fun bit, and I've been getting into making custom content. I'm not very good, and I can only do like recolors, which is what those posters are, but I'm just glad that it's a skill I'm picking up for no other reason than it is just a fun hobby to have. Now back to the European travels for the monstrous gentlewoman. I'm really enjoying that, but I've been reading this book for 2 months on Audible, and that is a 24-hour audio book. I felt like this book could have been split into 2 different storylines, and that's the problem that I'm encountering with reading it. It's just like, what the heck is going on? I felt like we took this long intermission where nothing really happened and it wasn't really relevant to the storyline whatsoever, but it was somehow included. So I'm trying to make my way through it. I'm still enjoying it, so I definitely will finish it. It is just going to take me a longer time to do. Now, we are obviously on a smaller lot in Willow Creek. By the way, the lighting in Willow Creek is so bad, especially in this area. Like, why is this entire lot just shadows? Like, you could even see right next to it that it's so much sunnier and brighter, but the lot itself is pure shadows. Anyway, the lot is small, so I couldn't fit in a massive backyard, but I wanted the idea for the family that lives here to be that it's either a single parent and a teen, or it's parents and a teen. This house ends up being about 35,000 simoleons, so slightly more than a starter home, but still something that your sim can easily acquire very early on in their lifespan. So this is what I was aiming for. So the teen really loves music, and she's a big fan of Zia Carlisle and Pandora, which are a band and a musician in Del Sol Valley that, again, your sim can run into. So she has posters of them in her room. She really loves the color orange, and she herself wants to be a musician. So I give her a little mix master station and a little station for her to do her homework. The outdoor area is still a nice place to hang out. There's actually a little fishing area right outside. There's places so you can dig, and I just say Tartosa could never. It annoys me so much when people are like, Tartosa is a great world. I'm glad you love Tartosa, but you can tell me right now in the comments, have you seen anyone actually be able to do anything in Tartosa aside from buy wedding cakes and flowers or go swimming and eat at the little stall? No, because all of the gameplay exists on the lots. Literally, your sim is running back and forth because there's no teleportation area where your sim can, like, for example, say in Strangerville, right? There's like a wall that your sim walks up to, and that's where they disappear out of, and it's like supposedly a train station, right? Tartosa doesn't have that, so it takes your Sims half a day to walk to whatever lot they're going to. Why would my Sim try to walk across the entire world to get to their home? Why is everything a stop sign? Like, literally, there are parts that your Sim can't even walk to, but they should be able to. Like, there's a park in the middle of Tartosa, and half of it isn't even usable. And half is a very generous estimate because it is way more than that. Like, your Sims have minimal things to interact with. If you're thinking of getting My Wedding Stories just for Tartosa, fucking don't. It's not worth it. Let me just spit facts at you. Absolutely not, because Tartosa is not a functional world, more so than any world in The Sims 4. It is a set. It's a set. Your sim can't walk anywhere. Your sim can't interact with anything aside from the set things that were set up to interact with them. Finding anything to, like, actually collect collectibles, not gonna happen. You want to find things to harvest, not gonna happen. Why aren't there grapes all over Tartosa? I don't understand. Anyway, I hate that world. That is a little bit of a rant for you in this moment. But we're coming to the end of the build where I'm just trying to bring a little bit more life to it. Feel like it's a place where Sims actually live and interact. I'm gonna have to rebuild this section of Willow Creek. I'm making progress with my save file. It is going to take a while, but I am making progress. I love the two little bites. I like to think that the parent and the teen go on bike rides around Willow Creek as like a form of exercise in their day. I like these little outdoor retreat chairs that I put outside because that feels super realistic to me. Around my area, you would definitely see people have like those kind of seats instead of like a full patio set. And I think it's realistic to the kind of income the family that lives here has. So that's it. That's the build. Life update is that I finally renewed my passport, so that is fantastic. I'm hoping to be able to do some travel at some point to whatever country is open and welcoming tourists. Work is just so fucking stressful. Like, so stressful. It is a lot to deal with at the moment, but thankfully I don't think I'll be dealing with it for much longer. I do intend to find a new career relatively soon, so that is a big life update for me. And I'm also apparently going to live in a 2-bedroom apartment that is going to be entirely my own. So wow, hello, life updates. Now that's going to change much because I currently live in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's just I will have the apartment and have more room for myself, shall we say. But anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. We are coming to the end. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you being here. If you aren't subscribed already and you like speed builds and create a sim, you like custom content, you like playing with mods, you like legacy style challenges, then I would love for you to stick around by subscribing. I try to post new videos every single week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you next time. Bye, everyone.